Raider Nation, it's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up on today's show, I'm going to be looking at the top 5 breakout candidates for the Silver and Black this season. First off, a breakout cannot be a rookie. You have to be in the league at least 1 year because you need to have a career year or a better year in order to break out. Typically, I would say guys in their second, third year are the most common players that you feature as a breakout candidate. It's also very important that the players that I'm going to be bringing up, I do believe are going to have the best years of their career, and they're going to be household names, not just amongst the nation, but around the National Football League. I do have a challenge for you out there. I know I'm not on my honeymoon yet, but when you guys watch this video, I will be on my honeymoon. And if this video gets 100 subs, I'm going to drop a video from my honeymoon tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed. Let's go to the Raiders breakout candidates, and the first guy that I'm going to be bringing up here on the show, and essentially the rankings that you're going to see, I'll say are just how maybe crazy they are in terms from top to bottom. Coming in here at number 5, I'm going to go with Tre Tucker, and I do think that Tucker has an opportunity to potentially break out, but it's not just because of Tucker. I think it's also the situation that he is in right now for the Silver and Black. He's entering his third year. He had a brand new head coach. He gets another new head coach. But it's this regime and it's overall what I expect the Raiders to do from an offensive standpoint. From a career standpoint, he's got 66 catches, 870 yards, 5 touchdowns in total, but I don't really think he's been able to get the ball rolling. And you could put some blame on Tre Tucker. I think you could also put blame that he's had multiple OCs, that he's had multiple different quarterbacks. But let's face the facts here. Gino Smith was great with Tyler Lockett, and if I was the Raiders and I was Pete Carroll, I would try to use Tre Tucker the exact same way that I was using Tyler Lockett, somebody that was fit great with Gino Smith. I'll also say, if you're talking about one-on-one matchups, Tre Tucker's going to get a lot one-on-ones. You're not going to double up Tre to free up Brock, to free up Jacoby Myers. That's just not going to happen. And the fact that also teams are always going to have to respect Ashton Jeanty, the top's going to be able to come off. And I think the person taking the top off is going to be Tre Tucker. Let's go to number 4 here on the list. It's going to be Jackson Powers-Johnson, the center here for the Silver and Black. I believe that JPJ is a top 5 center in the NFL, and I'm not afraid to say it. I think what he brings to the table from the mentality of a Raiders standpoint is exactly what he, I think, also brings to the table for a Raiders standpoint. Jackson Powers-Johnson is the type of player that you know is a big, bad mother effer. And for a team that values the trenches, and for a team that went ahead and drafted Ashton Jeanty where they did, spoiler alert, Genty's not going to be on this video because he's a rookie. But there is a brand new offensive line award out there, and I'm not saying that JPJ is going to be the one that gets it. But if Jeanty goes out and wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, you know who's going to get a lot of attention? It's going to be the offensive line. You know who's going to get even more attention? It's going to be the Raiders center, who is Jackson Powers-Johnson. Also, we got to consider this. He was good last season. Struggled a little bit in the beginning. I think it's just because he was learning a new position, guard. They didn't play him at center. And he did struggle with some injuries, which kind of kept him out of practice. He's got a fully healthy offseason. He's been working out. He looks great. He is going to be a big-time breakout star, but I think he's also going to help out Ashton Jeanty, which is going to help him get in more headlines. I want you to go down to the comment section right now, and I want you to name a Raiders breakout candidate for this upcoming season. Again, can't be a rookie, and when I think of breakout, I think of the best season that they've ever had in their NFL career. Let's go to number 3 here on my list for breakout candidates, Gino Smith. And I know that Gino's going to be a little bit of a weird one because he has so many years in the NFL already, but I will confidently say that I do legitimately think that Gino is about to have a breakout and get more of that respect of being a potential top 10 quarterback. I say that because in 2022, he threw for 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Those are very impressive numbers, no doubt about it. But I think a lot of times Gino was given the love and the credit because they were like, oh, this is Pete Carroll. Oh, they have DK Metcalf. Oh, they have Tyler Lockett. They have a lot of different pieces, and he still doesn't get the love that he deserves. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about it from a stats perspective because I don't know if Gino is going to put up the numbers that we've saw. Again, 30 touchdowns. But here's what I will say. This Raiders coaching staff, Greg Olson, Chip Kelly, I think are perfect for what Gino brings to the table. Tom Brady, going to help bring it even more to the table. Pete Carroll and John Spytek have done magic with journeyman quarterbacks. But the number one reason why I think Gino's going to break out, it's because this football team with Gino Smith will be a playoff contender. That's a bold take, but you know what? I'm not afraid to give that bold take. Gino hasn't had a losing season over the past 3. Top 6 in wins from a quarterback perspective. The way that Gino's going to get love and respect around the National Football League is by winning in the AFC West and showing people that he can make this Raiders team a contender. And if he does that, I don't care what anybody says. That's a breakout in my book. I got a few more breakout candidates coming up here in just a moment, but I have a hell of a deal that is only available for a limited time. Right now, we got Raiders t-shirts. They are on sale. If you go to chatsports.com/T-sale, T-shirt, T-sale, you can get this Raiders shirt, which was $50. You can actually get it now for $29. If you're looking for another Raiders shirt, and this one's in silver, this was $50. You can get it now for $22. Chatsports.com/T-sale. They come in sizes from small all the way up to 4XL. I think even 5XL as well. So if you need something that fits all shapes and sizes, I got you. And it's at a hell of a deal. Let's go to the next breakout candidate here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I'm going to throw in the name of Michael Mayer. I don't think that Mayer is going to be talked about in NFL circles as being a legit number 1 tight end. But I do think that he's going to break out in his own realm in terms of he's going to be considered a reliable tight end in the National Football League and a reliable number 2 next to Brock Bowers. I hope the way that we talk about Mayer is the way that teams used to talk about that 2 tight end set with Aaron Hernandez and Brock Bowers. We know that we have the best tight end in the NFL, Bowers. Can Mayer now take that next step forward? And, you know, he's shown some flashes of some good. Didn't play all too much last season because he had to step away from football. But this is a dude entering his 3rd year with another OC, with another head coach. And I really do think that you're going to see him try to take it to the next level. And for a Raiders team that has already told you this offseason that they're trying to get him involved in this offense more. They've already said they're not interested in trading him. If he can go out there and if he can give you a solid 40, 50 catches, give you a solid 500, 600 yards, maybe 6 to 7 touchdowns, he could be a solid player. From a skills standpoint, I've honestly have always viewed Michael Mayer as a Mark Andrews, as somebody even along the lines of a Dallas Goedert. And I'm hoping that this season you get to see a little bit more out of that from Michael Mayer. Before I tell you my number 1 breakout candidate, if you don't know that I'm going to be on my honeymoon from July 13th to the 18th, and if you want to see what my wife and I are doing, you can always give me a follow on IG at Mitchell Renz 365, though. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to show you all that my wife and I are doing. If any Raiders news does happen, though, Jeremy Chuggs, he's got you covered, so make sure you give him a follow on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. Bottom line is this. Y'all are my friends. Y'all are my family. And I'm not going to lie to you. I would want to know what Jeremy's doing on his honeymoon. So if you want to know what I'm doing on my honeymoon, make sure you give me a follow on IG, Mitchell Renz 365. Get out of here. Let's go to number 1. And I'm going to say it's Tyrie Wilson. And I bet if you looked at my video last season, I bet you had Tyrie Wilson at number 1 as well. I just look at a player that's got all the athletic ability in the world, and can he put it together? Yes, he's entering his 3rd year, but I kind of look at this year as almost like his 2nd year because that rookie season, he was dealing with that foot injury, and he wasn't 100% healthy. I also look at opportunity when you talk about breakout players, and he's going to have an opportunity to take a step forward because of the uncertainty around the Christian Wilkins injury. On top of that, 2025 is a contract year for Tyrie. It is. I know he's in his 3rd year, but he's going to have that chance to get that 5th-year option. And if Wilson wants to get that 5th-year option with Las Vegas, he needs to go out there and he needs to showcase that he can do it this season. I've had the opportunity to talk to Tyrie a few times this offseason, and he does sound like he's got his head on straight. He does sound like he's surrounding himself with the right people. But somebody who I really do respect on the Raiders is Rob Leonard, the Raiders defensive line coach, because I do think he's one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. And even Rob Leonard has said that he sees a different version of Tyrie Wilson, that he thought that Wilson left a lot of opportunities out there on the field last season. And I do really, truly believe that in this 3rd year with Wilson, a fully healthy offseason and surrounding himself with the right people, knowing that it's also going to be a contract year For that reason is why I believe Tyrie Wilson is a breakout candidate. So one more time here, while I'm on my honeymoon, if you want to tag me on IG or on Twitter, it's at Mitchell Renz 365. My top 5 breakout candidates for the silver and black: Tre Tucker, Jackson Powers Johnson, Gino Smith, Michael Mayer, and Tyrie Wilson.